The trial of the man accused of killing a Chattanooga woman in 2022 began today. Jason Chen is accused of stabbing Jasmine Pace 60 times.
And we have team coverage. Grayson Gordon has been in the courtroom and will have a live report for us. Also, Xavier Harris spoke with a neighbor at the time the murder took place. We begin with Grayson Gordon.
Grayson, tell us the latest.
Cindy, David, we are hearing from our final witness of the day. He was one of the investigators who were there to search Chen's apartment when they obtained that search warrant. And right now they're going through the evidence where you can do the Blue Star stuff, where you can see trace evidence of blood when you're going through the apartment. Now, jurors were sworn in and read the indictments against Chen this afternoon. And before the witnesses taking the stand, the jury heard opening statements from the state and the defense.
This is the suitcase in which Jason Chen stuffed the 98-pound body of Jasmine Pace.
In the early morning hours of November 23rd, 2022, Jason Chen killed Jasmine Pace. He didn't do it with premeditation. This is a voluntary manslaughter case. Voluntary manslaughter is the intentional or knowing killing of another in a state of passion produced by adequate provocation, sufficient to lead a reasonable person to act in an unreasonable manner.
DA Womp introduced the magnitude of injuries Jasmine received, including a stab wound that penetrated her so deeply the knife broke off in her rib cage. Medical examiner will testify more on that later. And Weiss says a fight broke out between Pace and Chen, and that is what led her to being killed. We will continue our coverage throughout the week. We have in real live time updates on our website, and also our live stream is there as well if you want to go ahead and tune in at any time. For now, reporting live at the Hamilton County Courthouse, Grayson Gordon, Local 3 News.
Thank you, Grayson. Neighbors where the murder took place are speaking out for the first time, recalling Jasmine Pace's murder.
Xavier Harris spoke with a former Local 3 employee who lived at the lofts at Tremont at the time of Jason Chen's arrest, and she says she moved because of what happened. And Xavier joins us live at the apartment complex. Now, Xavier, how close did she live to Jason Chen at the time?
Hey, David, Cindy, good afternoon to the both of you. That's right. I'm standing outside of where police say that murder took place. Now, I want you to take a look behind me here. Where you see those curtains in that window, that's where Jessica Coco says she lived. And she tells me Jason Chen lived in the apartment right under her.
I was afraid to be in my own home. I didn't want to be there. I didn't want to be around where anything like that had happened.
Jessica Coco says she moved into the lofts at Tremont back in 2021. She says the neighbors and community were peaceful, and she never expected her apartment complex would turn into a murder crime scene.
It was kind of like frightening knowing that something can happen like that at all, but like that close proximity is pretty scary.
Coco says she lived in apartment 310. According to District Attorney Cody Womp, Jasmine Pace was killed in apartment 210. And during the first day of trial, Womp said Jason Chen stabbed Pace at least 60 times in his apartment, put her body in a suitcase, and dumped her body. Coco says when she learned those details before trial, she was sick to her stomach.
I definitely did not feel comfortable being there. I did not want to live there anymore. I didn't want to have to walk in the same stairwell or like be on the same elevator. It was just a really creepy, eerie, scary feeling.
Coco says while she wasn't home the night of the murder, she remembers coming home the next day to a scent she says she will never forget.
It was something that I genuinely had never smelled. I remember walking into my apartment and I was thinking like, what is that? I have no idea what that is. And this was before I knew that she had been murdered in that apartment right underneath me. It could have been like cleaning supplies and blood. I don't actually know, but it was just something that I had never smelled. It was sour, it was foul, it was just really gross.
She says after Pace's car was found at Signal View Apartments, she saw two women out front of her apartment complex passing out flyers.
Just trying to get information out. There were flyers in the elevators, on the stairwells, on everybody's doors. They put them under the doors.
She says now that the trial is underway, she's hoping Jasmine Pace's family will get the answers they need in some form of justice.
I do feel better knowing that like it's not forgotten about and that like justice could be served.
Now, day 2 of the trial begins tomorrow, and we also spoke with a former roommate of Jason Chen, and he will have his story on Local 3 News tomorrow. Stay with us. For now, we're live in Hamilton County. I'm Xavier Harris, Local 3 News.